Yeah. Yeah, she's expert. Udilo Aruna Purabha-bhage Dvija mani gora amani jage Bhakata samuha loya sate Grila nagara baje Samuha loya sate Grila nagara baje Tathai tathai bajalakho Gana gana tahe jaje raro Prema jala jala sonaranga Charanenu pura baje Mukunda Madhava Yadava Hari Bolena Bolore Vadana Bori Michani Daveshe Gelore Rati Divasa Sharira Saje Emona Dulaba Manavadeho Paya ki koro bhavana ke ho Namadeho Paya ki koro bhavana ke ho Ebena bhajile Yashoda Sutta Charame puri belaje Udita tapana hoile asta Dinagelo boli hoi bebyasta Tabe que no ebe alas hoy Nabajari daya raje Jivana nitya jana hasar tahena navidha vipada bhar. Namashraya kori jatane tumi taka apana kaje. Jivera kalyana sadhana kam Jagate asi madurana. Avidyati mera tapana rupe vidagagane biraje. Krishna nam sudha koriyapan Jurao bhakati vinoda pran. Nama bina kichu nahi ko aro Chauda bhuvana maje. Jeev jago, jeev jago, Gora Chandra bole. Divo. Kota nidra jao maya Pishachira kole. Bhajibo boliya eshe samsara bitare. Buliya rohile tumi avidyara bare. Tomare loite ami hoinu avatara. Ami bina bandhu ar ke ache tomara. Enechi aushadhi maya nasibaro lage. Harinama Mahamantra Lao tumi magi. Bhaktivedanta Prabhu Charane Pariya. Say Hari Nama Mantra Loilo Magiya. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Bolo. Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Jai Prabhupada, 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 Jai Prabhupada. Jai Vishpad Brahmahamsa Parijaka Stotra Sata Sri Śrīmad Bhāgavatam Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada ki, Grantaraj Śrīmad Bhāgavatam ki Jai. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So we're reading from Śrīmad Bhāgavatam, Canto 9, Chapter 21, entitled The Dynasty of Bharata. Text 26. And we'll be reading quite a few verses today. So, text 26. Jaigishavyopadeshena Yogatantram Chakaraha Udakshena Stata Tasmad Bhallato Barhadishava Jaigishavyopadeshena Yogatantram Chakaraha Udakshena tatastasmad Bhallato Barhadishava. Jaigishavyopadeshena Mataji. Word-to-word translation. Jaigishavya, of the great rishi named Jaigishavya. Upadeshena, by the instruction. Yoga Tantram, an elaborate description of the mystic yoga system. Chakara, compiled. Ha, in the past. Udakshena, Udakshena. Tataha, from him Vishwakshena, Tasmat, from him Udakshena, Bhalata, a son named Bhalata, Barhadishava. All of these are known as descendants of Brihadishu. Translation. Following the instructions of the great sage Jaigishavya, Vishwakshena compiled an elaborate description of the mystic yoga system. From Vishwakshena, Udakshena was born, and from Udakshena, Bhalata. All these sons are known as descendants of Brihadishu. So I'll just keep reading the translations for a few pages. The son of Dvimidha was Yavinara, whose son was Kritiman. The son of Kritiman was well known as Satyadriti. From Satyadriti came a son named Dridha Nemi, who became the father of Suparshva. From Suparshva came a son named Sumati. From Sumati came Sannatiman, and from Sannatiman came Kriti, who achieved mystic power from Brahma and taught 6 samhitas of the Pratyasama verses of the Samaveda. The son of Kriti was Nipa. The son of Nipa was Udgrayudha. The son of Udgrayudha, Kshemya. The son of Kshemya, Suvira. And the son of Suvira, Ripunjaya. From Ripunjaya came a son named Bahuratha. Purumidha was sonless. Ajamida had a son named Nila by his wife, known as Nalini. And the son of Nila was Shanti. The son of Shanti was Sushanti. The son of Sushanti was Puruja. And the son of Puruja was Arka. From Arka came Bharmyashva. And from Bharmyashva came 5 sons, Mudgala, Yavinara, Brihadvishwa, Kampilla, and Sanjay. Bharmyashva prayed to his sons, "O my sons, please take charge of my 5 states, for you are quite competent to do so." Thus, his 5 sons were known as the Panchalas. From Mudgala came a dynasty of Brahmanas known as Maudgalya. Mudgala, the son of Bharmyashva, had twin children, one male and one other female. The male child was named Divodasa, and the female child was named Ahalya. From the womb of Ahalya, by the semen of her husband Gautama, came a son named Shatananda. The son of Shatananda was Satyadriti, who was expert in archery, and the son of Satyadriti was Sharadvan. When Sharadvan met Urvashi, he discharged semen, which fell on a clump of sharagrass. From these semen were born 2 all-auspicious babies, one male and the other female. While Maharaj Shantanu was on hunting excursion, he saw the male and female children lying in the forest, and out of compassion he took them home. Consequently, the male child was known as Kripa, and the female child was named Kripi. Kripi later became the wife of Dronacharya. Thus end the Bhaktivedanta purports of the 9th canto, 21st chapter of the Śrīmad Bhāgavatam, entitled The Dynasty of Bharata. Chapter 22, The Descendants of Ajamida. So, the dynasty is continuing, and in this chapter we'll read a lot of familiar names. So, starting with text 1. Shukadeva Goswami said, "O king, the son of Divodasa was Mitrayu, and from Mitrayu came 4 sons named Chavana, Sudasa, Sahadev, and Somaka. Somaka was the father of Jantu. Somaka had 100 sons, of whom the youngest was Prishata. From Prishata was born King Drupada, who was opulent in all supremacy. From Maharaj Drupad, Draupadi was born. Maharaj Drupada also had many sons headed by Drishtadumna. From Drishtadumna came a son named Drishtaketu. All these personalities are known as descendants of Bharmyashva, or as the dynasty of Panchal. Another son of Ajamida was known as Riksha. from Riksha came a son named Samvarana, and from Samvarana, through the womb of his wife Tapati, the daughter of the sun god, came Kuru, the king of Kurukshetra. Kuru had 4 sons, Parikshi, Sudhanu, Janu, and Nishada. From Sudhanu, Suhotra was born, from Suhotra, Chavana, and from Chavana, Kriti was born. The son of Kriti was Uparichara Vasu, and among his sons, headed by Brihadrata, were Kushamba, Matsya, Pratyagra, and Chedipa. All the sons of Uparichara Vasu became rulers of the Chedi state. From Brihadrata, Kushagra was born. From Kushagra, Rishabha, and from Rishabha, Satyahita. The son of Satyahita was Pushpavan, and the son of Pushpavan was Jahu. Through the womb of another wife, Brihadrata begot 2 halves of a son. When the mother saw those 2 halves, she rejected them. But later a she-demon named Jara playfully joined them and said, "Come to life, come to life." Thus the son named Jarasandha was born. From Jarasandha came a son named Sahadev. From Sahadev, Somapi. And from Somapi, Shrutashrava. The son of Kuru, called Parikshi, had no sons. But the son of Kuru, called Janu, had a son named Suratha. From Suratha came a son named Viduratha, from whom Sarvabhauma was born. From Sarvabhauma came Jayasena, and from Jayasena Radhika, and from Radhik Ayutayu. From Ayutayu came a son named Akrodana, and his son was Devatithi. The son of Devatithi was Riksha. The son of Riksha was Dilipa, and the son of Dilipa was Pratipa. The sons of Pratipa were Devapi, Shantanu, and Bahalik. Devapi left the kingdom of his father and went to the forest, and therefore Shantanu became the king. Shantanu, who in his previous birth was known as Mahabhisha, had the ability to transform anyone from old age to youth simply by touching that person with his hands. Because the king was able to make everyone happy for sense gratification primarily by the touch of his hand, his name was Shantanu. Once, when there was no rainfall in the kingdom for 12 years, and the king consulted his learned Brahminical advisors, they said, "You are faulty for enjoying the property of your elder brother. For the elevation of your kingdom and home, you should return the kingdom to him." Purport: one cannot enjoy sovereignty or perform an Agnihotra Yajna in the presence of one's elder brother, or else one becomes a usurper known as Pariveta. So you're going to continue for a couple of more verses. When the Brahmanas said these, Maharaj Shantanu went to the forest and requested his elder brother, Devapi, to take charge of the kingdom, for it is the duty of a king to maintain his subjects. Previously, however, Shantanu's minister, Ashvavara, had instigated some Brahmanas to induce Devapi to transgress the injunctions of the Vedas and thus make himself unfit for the post of ruler. The Brahmanas deviated Devapi from the path of the Vedic principles, and therefore, when asked by Shantanu, he did not agree to accept the post of ruler. On the contrary, he blasphemed the Vedic principles and therefore became fallen. Under the circumstances, Shantanu again became the king, and Indra, being pleased, showered rains. Devapi later took to the path of mystic yoga to control his mind and senses, and went to the village named Kalapa Grama, where he is still living. After the dynasty of the moon god comes to an end in this age of Kali, Devapi, in the beginning of the next Satya Yuga, will re-establish the Soma dynasty in this world. From Bahalika, the brother of Shantanu, came a son named Somadatta, who had 3 sons named Bhuri, Bhurishrava, and Shala. From Shantanu, through the womb of his wife named Ganga, came Bhishma, the exalted, self-realized devotee and learned scholar. So we're reading this next verse, which has a purport and is what we'll be discussing today. So that's chapter 22, text 20 is what we are reading today. Bhishma Dev was the foremost of all warriors when he defeated Lord Parshuram in a fight. Lord Parshuram was very satisfied with him. By the semen of Shantanu in the womb of Satyavati, the daughter of a fisherman, Chitrangada took birth. Purport: Satyavati was actually the daughter of Uparichara Vasu by the womb of a fisherwoman known as Matsya Garbha. Later, Satyavati was raised by a fisherman. The fight between Parshuram and Bhishma Dev concerns 3 daughters of Kashiraj, Ambika, Ambalika, and Amba, who were forcibly abducted by Bhishma Dev, acting on behalf of his brother Vichitra Virya. Amba thought that Bhishma Dev would marry her and became attached to him, but Bhishma Dev refused to marry her, for he had taken the vow of Brahmacharya. Amba therefore approached Bhishma Dev's military spiritual master, Parashuram, who instructed Bhishma to marry her. Bhishma Dev refused, and therefore Parshuram fought with him to force him to accept the marriage. But Parshuram was defeated, and he was pleased with Bhishma. Om Jnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshur Unmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So, these are some of the names that we are familiar with, even for those who have not read the Mahabharata. Just from the Bhagavad Gita, we have read many of these names. And here we are discussing today one of the very special personality, the Bhishma Dev, who is a son of Shantanu from Ganga Devi. And there's a whole storyline that I wouldn't get into. But Bhishma Dev, who was from his very birth, he was actually transported to heavenly planets, higher planets, with his mother, Ganga Devi. And for how many years? 16 or at least close to 20 years is where he stayed in heavenly planets, and he got trained by the demigods into the military science and into the scriptures. So that's a good training program. So then when he So Maharaj Shantanu, of course, did not know his whereabouts and where he is gone. And one day when Maharaj Shantanu, who was in his leisure, pleasure trip, and he saw this Ganga who is meant to be flowing, a river meant to be flowing, and he saw that at one point there was no water coming through. And so he was surprised because Ganga's waters are very strong, they flow very fast. So he saw that there's no water. So he said, where did all the water go? So he went back into this to trace the stream of the Ganges to find out what happened. And he saw that this young boy was practicing archery. And he shot so many arrows into the riverbed that the water stopped flowing any further. And so Shantanu was amazed. And this young boy, probably about 20, 25, whatever, and he was just playfully doing it. He was not planning for this. He was just playfully shooting some arrows and he just blocked the whole Ganges water. So the Shantanu was very impressed. But then also when he saw him, he remembered his own son who would have been about the same age as Bhishma Dev. So anyway, long story short, he found out that that's his son, Bhishma. And later, when Shantanu wanted to marry one particular fisher woman, and Bhishma Dev assisted him, his father, in getting married to this fisherwoman, but then the condition by this lady's father was that, you are Bhishma, you are great son of a princess, and so a king, and so naturally, even if my daughter becomes the wife of your father, then she will be neglected once you become the king. So then Bhishma Dev, of course, took a vow that then I'll make sure that his son gets the kingdom. Her son gets the kingdom. And so this fisherwoman's father, who was very clever, he said, well, even if her son becomes the king, his son definitely won't be the king, but your son will become the king. So still they will be neglected. So I cannot give my daughter in marriage to your father. So Bhishma Dev, who wanted to make his father happy because his father was morose that he wanted to marry this woman, and so he knew that I need to please my father, and so he took a vow that, okay, if that's the case, then I will never get married. And in that way, your daughter, when she gets a son, he will become the king, the next king, and the lineage will continue from hers, because I will not marry. And not only that, he also took a vow that I will personally make sure that her children continue the lineage, and I will protect the kingdom on their behalf. So Bhishma Dev, who is extremely powerful, who is extremely qualified, learned, here in the previous verse is explained how he was a very exalted personality. He was a self-realized devotee, and he was a learned scholar. By all means, is completely qualified to become the king. But then he took the vow that, no, just for my father's happiness, just to get this woman married, I will take a vow that I'll not get married. And when he took that vow, because it's a vow from a Kshatriya, and Kshatriyas are meant to really have a good time in the material world. They have a lot of opulences around them, big kingdom, beautiful woman. Because of their mode of passion is so much, they are allowed to actually marry more than one wife. So, but then the Bhishma Dev, he took a vow that I'll not get married, and it was such a powerful vow that the demigods from the heavens, they threw flowers on Bhishma, and they said, Bhishma, Bhishma. He said, this is a, Bhishma means like very powerful, very strong, very great vow. So he said, wow. He said, Bhishma. So there was like a shower of flowers, and before his name was Devavrata? Devavrata. And from then on, he became known as Bhishma because of his very severe vow. And he stuck to that vow for the rest of his life. And then later when he brought this fisherwoman to Shantanu, Shantanu was very happy. But then later he found out that his son had taken a vow to stay brahmachari forever. And for Shantanu, that was the most amazing thing, and he was so impressed and he was so thankful to Bhishma Dev. And so there was so anyway later the sons of this fisherwoman who were not Vichitravirya, one of her sons, and long story short, to get him married, Bhishma Dev got these three ladies, Amba, Ambika and Ambalika, which literally means Amba, little Amba and little mini Amba. Anyway, so there's three of them, and Bhishma Dev brought all three of them to get married to Vichitravirya, his brother. And of course, all the three women, they did not know, they did not hear an explanation, they just got abducted. And they were all happy because yes, they thought they were going to get married to Bhishma Dev, and then they found out that no, we're going to marry to Vichitravirya, who is nowhere as close to as powerful as Bhishma Dev. So they were very disappointed, and Amba said, no, we cannot do this. So anyway, Bhishma Dev said, look, I cannot accept you, and so Amba became very upset, and so she went to Bhishma Dev's teacher, Parshuram, and complained to Parshuram that Bhishma is a Kshatriya, we are taking shelter of him, and legally, by the code of conduct, he's supposed to marry us. So, can you please tell him? And Parshuram is like, yes, leave it up to me, I'm going to explain to him, I'm a teacher, he'll listen to me. And Parshuram goes to Bhishma Dev. Bhishma Dev says, look, I've taken a vow for celibacy for the rest of my life. I'm not going to get married. And so Parshuram, who is, he can get angry very quickly. So Parshuram got very angry. He said, you deny my instruction? He said, I'll kill you. So Bhishma Dev said, you're welcome to, but I can't because I've taken a vow. I can't get married. And so Parshuram said, okay, then get ready for the fight. So Parshuram, who is an extremely powerful warrior, so powerful that he cleaned up the whole earth 21 times from all the Kshatriyas. Some of the very powerful Kshatriyas like Kartavirya, Arjuna, and they were absolutely ruthlessly smashed by Parshuram. So powerful, so extremely powerful. And so this Parshuram now is going to wage a battle against Bhishma. And so this battle starts and then it goes on and on and on and on. And sometimes Bhishma gets wounded and sometimes Parshuram gets wounded. And then this goes back and forth for non-stop for how many days? Nearly a month. Nearly a month of every day fighting from morning till night, just constantly fighting, no stopping. After nearly a month, and Parshuram understood that it's no point going any further. This Bhishma cannot be defeated. So then finally, Parshuram becomes very happy and he actually forgives Bhishma and actually blesses him. for his determination to uphold to his vow. So, very exemplary character. Bhishma Dev is a very exemplary character, and there are so many amazing lessons that we learn from his life. And in the Bhagavad Gita, where the first speech of diplomacy, motivation, spoken in Bhagavad Gita by Duryodhana, and when Duryodhana first goes to his army and he's trying to inspire his armies, and one of the persons that he goes to is Bhishma Dev, trying to inspire and encourage him, and he's also encouraging all his other armies that our army is protected by Bhishma Dev, this most powerful warrior on the planet right now. He was so powerful that even Parshuram couldn't defeat him, and obviously there was no chance that anyone could face him at all. And so Duryodhana points out very quickly that look, we have Bhishma Dev in our side, And in comparison, on the other party, who does he compare it to? The strength of? No. Bhishma in comparison. And the other side is the strength of, who is one of the, considered to be the strongest warrior? Bhima. So he's saying that we are protected by Bhishma in comparison, they are protected by Bhima. Where is the comparison? Of course, they did not know that there was Krishna there on the other side. So even though Bhishma Dev, who was a pure devotee, very exalted personality, he takes the side of Kauravas, and there's a lot of time people ask this question: how can Bhishma Dev, who is a pure devotee, who is such an exalted person, that he's taking the side of Kauravas? And of course, there are many reasons given by the devotees. And externally, of course, the reason that's often given is that Bhishma Dev had taken a vow that he would always protect and be on the side of the Kauravas for whatever it may be. So externally, he was obviously sticking to his vow, but also a very nice explanation given by the devotees is that another reason why Bhishma Dev, and this is an amazing point, actually, it was really inspiring when I heard that, is that Bhishma Dev took the side of the Kauravas to show the whole world that you can be the most powerful person on the entire planet where nobody can even come close to you, but you go against Krishna, you get wiped out. Absolutely get smashed. So Bhishma Dev is showing this very amazing lesson that nobody can go against the will of Krishna, that his desire, the desire of the Supreme, desire of the Supreme Absolute is always true, and that it cannot go wrong, even if you are as great as Bhishma Dev. And of course, there was more internal reason that he wanted to see Krishna in that chivalry rasa. He wanted to see Krishna in that battle mode against him. And so he, as the story led, is that he took a vow in which he would fight to his best, and Krishna had to lift a weapon. Even though Krishna had taken a vow that he would not lift a weapon, Bhishma Dev's vow was so much more stronger in one sense. The vow of the devotee is so strong that to protect Bhishma's vow, Krishna broke his own vow and he lifted a weapon, which was a chariot wheel. and ran towards Bhishma. Said, Bhishma, I kill you today. But of course, the sun just set then, and Bhishma was not quite killed at that point, but later on. So, it's a very exemplary Vaishnava and greatly inspiring devotee. So, the one thing that I wanted to announce, and that's kind of coming up to a close, is we have a book distribution marathon coming exactly in 7 days from now, which is so today is Monday 17th, and is the next Monday, the 24th, is when we're going to be starting the book distribution marathon, Srila Prabhupada Book Marathon, as we know it, which goes from 24th of November till the 24th of December. And for 1 month, for those who don't know the context of it, in early 70s, there's some devotees in US, and Prabhupada's health was declining, and devotees knew that if we distribute books, then Prabhupada is pleased, and Prabhupada would say that, that's giving me rejuvenation when I hear the scores of books distributed. So they decided that they will do a 3 days book distribution marathon. So they did 3 days, almost 24 hours, which is like something like 18 or 20 hours a day, and then 4 hours of stop, and then again 18, 20 hours, and then again 4 hours stop, and again 20. So they did for 3 days, and they distributed something like close to 20,000 books. And then when Prabhupada came, the devotees reported him that we've distributed so many books, and Prabhupada was so extremely pleased. And so when the devotees saw that this is actually working, this is actually possible. We have never done it before, but it's possible that we can distribute books like this. So then they said, okay, let's try for 1 week. And then the following year, okay, let's try for 2 weeks. And then eventually got extended into 1 full month. So for 1 full month of this book distribution marathon is where, practically speaking, everyone who has read Prabhupada books, who has got inspired from Prabhupada books, will go out and will make an attempt to distribute these books to others. Just like we know and we see in our own lives that when we read these books, our lives got transformed. So if you see that in your own personal lives, if you have experienced that even a little bit, that yes, I read Prabhupada books, that I learned something, that it inspired me. If it can inspire me, if it can inspire any one of us, then it can definitely inspire more people out there. So, just for that reason, we can go out and we can share this knowledge with others. So there are so many people out there that genuinely looking for God. They're actually genuinely looking for spiritual knowledge, for spiritual lifestyle. They're genuinely looking for to come across some people who can show them what they need to do with their life. One time I was in a car park and distributing books, and this one lady who took her shopping trolley and she went behind the car. She opened her boot and she was loading things into the car. So I couldn't quite see her face because it was behind the car and there's so many cars like lined up next to each other. So I can't like go right next to her and say, excuse me, because that will freak her out. So I kind of went from the front of the car and I said, excuse me. And then I kind of excused my way next to her. And then I said, oh, I'm a monk, and we're giving people these books on meditation. And so she just froze. And so I said, I hope everything is okay. Like maybe I said something that I shouldn't have said, like sometimes people get angry and they're just like waiting to burst out or whatever. So I said, okay, so then I kind of waited for a minute. I was waiting for her response. Nothing happened. So then I said a little bit more, and she's still not saying anything. So I said a little bit more. She still didn't say anything. So then I finished my whole speech, explained the book, explained what I'm doing, asked for donation. Still not speaking anything. And so I'm like, is everything okay? Like, did I say something to offend you? And she said, no. I said, this is amazing. And so I said, like, why? He said, actually, you won't believe this. But he said, from last few months, he said, my life has been so bad. He said, I'm just going through so many difficulties, one after another. And to a point where I'm just thinking, like, what do I do with my life now? Like, I'm just so confused. Like, I really don't know where to go. I really don't know what to do. And I was just so confused. And so this morning, when I was just complete confusion. So I was just praying, I was just begging to God. So I don't know what God is. I don't know what to pray. So I don't know like the formalities of it. But I was just like, God, he said, if you are up there, he said, please tell me, what do I do with my life? He said, please tell me clearly, what do I need to do from here on? And it says 2 hours later, he said, you are giving me this book. I said, this is God speaking to me. So she was so happy. And she said, yes. She said, I want this book. He said, it's not even a question of what I want this book. He said, I need to read this book. So then she took the book. She got a very good donation. So for the whole speech, she was frozen. I came out, I was frozen. Wow, this is amazing. That to be an instrument in someone's life and actually be able to show them what they can do with their life. So Prabhupada's books are like this guiding force, what Prabhupada said, for the humanity for 10,000 years. And yeah, people will come and go, and the externals may come and go, but this knowledge in that and the transformation that it brings is staying forever. So as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu predicted that this knowledge will be spread in every town and village, and so it must happen because it's already predicted. So if we distribute these books, distribute the holy name, then we get to be part of the bigger movie. If we don't do it, someone else will do it because it has to happen. It's predicted, it has to happen. So, but if we get to be part of it, then we get the credit for doing it. And the last point that I really think that's really inspiring is that one of the devotees that I heard is that the Sankirtan mission, this Sankirtan that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to give is most ecstatic, and it's very, very amazing. And we can chant, we can read, we can do a lot of different services in the temple, we can do a lot of different kinds of activities in Krishna consciousness. But this activity of outreach, especially to people who are completely stranger to the whole culture, to this whole philosophy, not just focusing on the traditional, the people from Indian origin who are somewhat familiar with the culture. We're not just focusing on that, but we're focusing on a broader population, everyone, all the stripes and colors. Like that's the most amount of fun is when you go out on the street and you meet this person. It's like his hair is going like that, and and the tattoos like popping out of the hands and legs and mouth, and it has all these piercings and like, these most wildest characters. And then you stop them and say, man, you look amazing, And they really stop for you and they say, really? Thank you. and they're like these sweeties, they're like these gentle giants. But they're really trying to get some attention, they're just trying to get some love. And you give them that attention and love, and then you give them that, brother, I say, you're an amazing person. I got this amazing book for you. And you give them this book, and you don't explain anything. It is an amazing book for an amazing person. Like, look at you, you are an amazing person. And the guy's like, the few times I did that, yeah, you like me? You like me? I'll take your book. and actually, we devotees like everyone, why just one? So you express your love and you express your compassion and kindness, and you offer them something with that kindness. People love it. I give you everything from my pocket. And they reach out the pocket, they empty it out, like, look, nothing left. All yours. Take it. So when something like this happens, this is like what we experience is what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to give. But unless we put ourselves in that discomfort of just going and meeting strangers, these wild characters, until we actually put ourselves out there, we don't get to experience what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to give. So it's a great opportunity. For 1 month, it's also because everyone is doing it, it's also just get into the flow of it and just do your bit. And don't get, one last point, is that don't, if you meet someone who is interested, don't deny them a book. So if you see someone is interested, someone is a little bit favorable, someone who shows even the slightest of interest that they will read the book, give them the book. Give them the book. Krishna will cover the donation. If you're going to stay there for another 15 minutes, half an hour, 1 hour, you will cover the cost. Next person will give it. Next person will give it. Someone will cover the cost. But the person that you give books to, it can change their life. So a lot of time devotees say, oh no, if they don't give me money, that means they don't appreciate the book. That means I'm not going to give them the book. I said, no, give them the book. They're ready, they want to read it, just give them the book. Next person asks for more. But Krishna will cover the cost. And if it comes to worst, put in $10 or $15, $20 from your pocket. Big deal. It's not a big loss, but just that one book giving out to someone can change their life, can change your day, change your week. So don't hesitate to give. As devotees, we are kind. We are not after, always after the reciprocation. So we can just give them, and then somehow we can try and cover it. So that will finish. Thank you very much. Any corrections? Any comments? Any questions? Yes.
To follow up people, invite them to
Yeah. That's you give them a book, and you always invite them or take the contact and connect them to devotees. Make it easy for them to read the books. Yeah. Only problem was she was somewhere in the bushes, somewhere in the country. So yeah, but let's see. Yeah.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Thank you for a nice class. My experience when I go out, a lot of people say that, no, I'm not into book reading. I'll refer it on mobile. I don't get time. So how to deal with that situation?
It's It's just amazing when you meet people, they don't know books, they don't know you, they don't know what's the book about, and they still take the books, and they still pay you for it. And actually they don't know you and they don't care. They don't know the book, they don't care. They really see how much inspired you are. And so you tell them that, no, this is a good book, just take it. And a lot of times they're like, oh yeah, I usually don't read the book, but okay, it looks like you're giving it, okay, I'll take it. And it's no logic. On the street, people don't really respond to the logic most of the times, because logic requires intelligence, and Kali Yuga people don't really have much of intelligence. So sometimes I just tell people something very simple. I say, you know what's the special thing about this book? And they say, yeah. So this book will sit in your desk, and they're like, yeah, and they'll wait for you. They'll wait for you. Say, yeah. Yeah. They will not run away, Your best friends will run away if you're running late, but these books will wait for you. So it's okay. Just keep it in your desk, keep it next to your bed, and let it wait, And when you feel you're ready, then just pick it up. And they're like, yeah, must be divine.
Hare Krishna. So kind of add that magic or anticipation to it, that's what best we can do it.
Yeah, you make it fun and you make it easy, and you say, look, it's a nice book, you're a nice person, just take it,
Yeah.
It's a good book, it will help you in life, Mobile, so many distractions, battery runs out, storage runs out, just keep the book, nice to read from it. No battery problem, no electricity problem, no radiation problems, just pick up the book, read it, help you remember better, good for your eyes, good for your brain, good for your body, just... And they usually, you just laugh and you just kind of keep pushing them, and you keep laughing and keep pushing, and then they take it after some time. They're like, yeah, okay, sure.
Oh.
And just give something, just give something.
Jai. Yes. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Thank you for the nice class. Prabhu, I wanted to ask, wasn't it an offense when Bhishma Dev put his vows on top of his spiritual master's instructions? Because in the morning when we recite the 10 offenses, one of the third offense is to disobey the order of the spiritual master. So, if you could clarify.
So, Parshuram was more like a military teacher, not so much a spiritual teacher. So there are many teachers, that the teachers who teach you spiritual knowledge. And you don't want to deny their instruction because their instructions are good for spiritual life. So in the same way, the military teacher here, he's teaching the military science, which is different from spiritual science. So that's one factor to consider. Another factor is that Bhishma Dev is a Kshatriya. So, at least in the Vedic culture, things are a lot more complicated, because you have these codes of a Kshatriya, and then you have a codes of a Grihastha, and then codes of like a devotees, and then you have like these saintly devotees who are like half pure devotees, and then all these confusions and adding up. So it is considered that Bhishma Dev was like an amazing scholar. One of the things that's explained is that he was a great scholar, and so he could differentiate, and he could understand where the principles line up and where they don't. So in this case, how he's showing that I have taken a vow, and as a Kshatriya I have to stick to my vow. At the same time, if I deny Parshuram's instruction, that's not necessarily rejecting him, or whatever he has taught me. So based on all of that he denied. Anything to add to that? You can take mic.
Many times your spiritual master tests you. And if Parshuram was so adamant on Bhishma to follow that instruction, he wouldn't be pleased at the end of the fight. He would have got upset from him, cursed him and walked away. But because he tested his resolve, so he fought and he was pleased and then he blessed him. Okay, no problem. Continue with the vow.
Yeah, good point. Thank you. Yes, Paul.
And Yudhishthira went, Krishna asked him to take teachings from Bhishma Dev. That time, actually, Bhishma never offended Parshuram instructions. Actually, Parshuram was very happy. So in that past time, I was hearing the commentary when that people come to know that Bhishma is going to preach to Yudhishthira. Parshuram came and with all these disciples. And disciples was laughing, and you going to your student who disrespect you. And then Parshuram himself said that, no, he didn't disrespect me, he follows my instructions. And then he clarifies students, you all go and now hear what he says. He learned all the military art from Parshuram, and Parshuram challenged him, now you have to fight with me. So he just literally accepted what Parshuram asked him, because he learned everything from him, and if he's asking me to fight with me, so he's just following the instructions of Parshuram. So he never offended or any disrespect, he just followed the instructions of Parshuram. And there's a very big commentary on this, there's big talk about, he didn't offend, he just followed what he asked for it. So as a Kshatriya, his duty to fight if someone challenges him, so he's our Dhramragya, Bhishma know all the dharmic and religious principles. So.
Right. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Thank you very much. Śrīmad Bhāgavatam ki jai, Prabhupada ki jai.